And if you work hard here, you get rewarded.
Money is not the be all end all of the world, right?
From the moment I have come to this country, I have been given nothing but opportunities. And I'm grateful for that.
Joining us today is Harb Gill. He's a Canadian politician from the Conservative Party of Canada, elected member of Parliament for Windsor West in 2025 Canadian federal election. A retired police officer with 30 years of dedicated service in LaSalle, Harb brings experience, commitment, and a deep sense of duty to his new role as a representative for Windsor West. Welcome back to another episode of Cracking the Success Vault with Spectre Group. Today we are joined with Harb Gill. What is your actual role? Conservative?
Yes, sir. Conservative member of Parliament for Windsor West. We have not held this seat in over 60 years.
Yeah.
And we cracked the vault, as they say.
Yeah. And you know, we're not going to talk too much politics today,
Sure,
let's say, but, you know, that's a success in and of itself.
Yes, it
right?
is.
I mean, 60 years of one area of Windsor voting one way
Yes.
and now flipping it. Pretty good success. And we're going to talk a little bit about that.
Sure.
But I want to start, as always, with give the people listening a little story about yourself, where you grew up, how you grew up with your family, and then you and I are going to chat a little bit more about what we talked about when we grabbed coffee there.
Sounds good. I grew up in India in a city called Baroda, which is in Gujarat state, the western side of India. I went through high school and all that stuff. Had the opportunity to actually meet Mother Teresa once.
Oh, wow.
She came to our school. She was opening a new place for her organization, which dealt with leprosy.
Mm-hmm.
And went through university, got a diploma in civil engineering, and worked for roughly 4 or 5 years before deciding to migrate to Canada.
Mm-hmm.
I landed here in 1988. Right away went back to school, got a diploma in automotive motor power technician, and then went back to school right away, got a double honors in criminology and sociology, and then worked at the casino actually for a year. And in the meantime, I had applied to a bunch of friends, got together, grabbed some applications from Toronto Police Service that just reopened hiring. And these friends were great. They, as I was mentioning the other day to you, they helped me along. They actually, one of them drove me there. One of them mailed the application for me.
Yeah.
And the other guy, he loaned me his brand new car to head up for the interview in Toronto. And roughly back then, there were almost 6,500, 7,000 applicants. And they hired 93. And I was number 6 on the list. Oh. So that was truly rewarding.
Yeah. And so let's talk a little bit about then. So grow up in India. What did your parents do?
Dad was a lecturer in fine arts. He taught museology, which is the art of preserving paintings and all things related to museums. He trained a lot of curators across India, and some of his students were from overseas, some from the Middle East, some from some went on to work in the UK at art galleries and museums.
Wow.
So, yeah.
That's kind of a neat job. And what about your mom?
Mom was stay at home. She looked after us, and she just passed away a couple of years ago. And Dad passed away back in 2004.
Okay. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
And so what kind of, before we get into sort of why you came here and all that kind of stuff, what do you think some lessons that your parents taught you were that have helped you be a success that you are today? I mean, you spent 29 years on the force, and then now you're in elected official with the government in Canada. Like, there's obviously some things that they taught you that you have held with you your entire life.
Yes. First and foremost, being responsible. You have to take ownership for your actions, be honest, be reliable, be trustworthy, and most of all, hardworking. There is no substitute for hard work. And that was drilled into me, and
Yep.
there was no excuses were not an option
Yeah.
growing up.
Yeah, I love that you say that because we were literally just talking in the office
Yeah,
yesterday about, hard work can beat
yeah,
talent if talent doesn't work hard.
yeah,
You might be the best person when it comes to your field, whether it's engineering, whether it's policing, whether it's financial services, whatever it is. But if you're not going to go the extra mile and work hard and, help more people,
true.
your talent's only going to get you so far.
That's exactly right.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean, I can get behind all of that. I mean, the accountability
yeah,
piece,
yeah,
reliable, et
yeah.
cetera. I mean, you have to be that
Yes,
to be whether it's you should be that if you're an elected official,
exactly.
business owner, et cetera, right?
And even in life in general, though, Sean,
I know.
your word should mean something, right?
For sure,
Yeah.
right? Not just in
So,
business, but
yeah,
just
yeah,
in
in
life.
life too.
I
Yeah,
I would
yeah,
100% agree with you.
yeah.
And so, the lessons are fantastic. And so, what made you come here, and sort of why Canada? What was what was it that Canada was the place?
So I had an aunt and a couple of uncles that lived here, my mom's brothers, and one of them was visiting, and she said, would you care to come and take a look? I said, you know what, why not? I was doing okay in India, but I wanted to see something different, and they had been here since the '60s,
Mm,
and they had, again, these folks are also very hardworking people. My uncle at
mhm.
one time he's a former Navy guy. He was in the Royal Indian Navy when the British
Okay.
were there. And he held two jobs, one at Chrysler and at Ford. So he would finish at Ford and head to Chrysler. He would work 16 hours, this guy. And he's still
Wow.
around, by the way.
Wow.
So I knew that, if you work hard here, you get rewarded.
Mhm.
That was one of the things that I always learned and heard from my uncle and my aunt as well. And one of the things that when you're grown up in other parts of the world, you're not always able to achieve or get the results or rewards, rather, not just the results, the rewards for your hard work. And there's conflict, corruption, things of that nature that prevent you from reaching your full potential.
Mhm.
And you will find that a lot of the folks that immigrants that come to Canada uh, do face those things. And when they come here, they say, "Man, this is a breath of fresh air that I don't have to go pay a local official a bunch of money to have
Do
him do his job."
right.
Right. And so those kinds of things are what makes Canada attractive. It's the rule of law. It
Mhm.
actually matters. There's principles we abide by, and Canadian people are exceedingly fair. They're welcoming,
Mhm.
and they're very fair. And if you work hard here, you get rewarded.
Yeah.
You can afford to buy a home and have a good life for yourself and your kids. So
Mhm.
those are the kinds of things that attract you. And Canada always has had a good reputation across the globe, no matter where you go.
Yeah, I would agree.
And that's the kind of stuff that attracts you to Canada,
Mhm.
right? So I said, well, why not? Let me give it a shot.
Right.
And
So you
I
came
have
over to visit first for a period of time?
no. I came here as a permanent resident.
Okay.
I applied,
Applied and came
and
and
the good folks at the embassy in New Delhi approved my application. And even that back then, Sean, people are paying money to do that too. I said, not me. If you're gonna give me the ability to come here,
I wanna do it the right way.
do it the right way,
Right.
exactly. Rather than pay off a bunch of agents or travel agents or whatever
Yeah.
they are, and that still goes on, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I was not going to do that because I didn't like that sort of stuff to
Right.
begin with. Corruption is not something that I will tolerate or participate in
Right.
either. So
Yeah. Which is, I mean, it's amazing. I mean, I think a
yeah,
lot of people would agree with you, right? It's
yeah,
it's not something
yeah,
like
yeah,
you can money is not the be all end all of the world, right? I mean, there's so many more things that are valuable than money. You can make money anyway, like we mentioned, whether you're working hard, two jobs,
yes,
whatever it is, you can make it.
yeah.
You don't have to do something illegal,
No,
right?
no. My uncle, he lives in California. He said it best. He says, even a donkey can make money. And by that, I mean the donkey. You load up bricks on the poor donkey and
Mhm.
ask it to move, and you can go drop off. This is the kind of way
It's a good
things
saying.
would happen, right?
Yeah.
But even a donkey can make money.
Yeah.
But when we make money, we have to do it with honesty and integrity. But there is you're adding value to the other person or the organization
Right.
that you're working for, and in return, you're getting value as well.
Yeah.
So there's a mutual benefit, and both have to benefit, both have to gain value from that.
Yeah.
And that's where the true essence of our hard work lies.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I would agree. And so, okay, so you come here, permanent resident. When you get here, you go back to school immediately, I assume, because you had to upgrade courses or you wanted to. Sort of, what was the reason for
I
going back to school?
I simply wanted to, because when I got here, I was a civil engineer, and you're trying to try getting a job in the civil engineering field. Nothing is nearby. You have to
Yeah.
have a car and a license. I didn't have either one of those.
Yeah.
so so my next best option was, I'm not going to ask my uncle to go buy me a car and get me a license. That takes time. I didn't want to be a burden.
Hmm.
So I went back to school. The I got student loans, OSAP and CSL, and I after I graduated, it took me another 10 years to pay them off, but I did pay them off in
Hmm.
full. But I'm grateful of the fact that I got that
Right.
opportunity, and I was able to repay those loans. There's a lot of people like me in the same boat,
Hmm.
whether you're born and raised here or born someplace else and you come here to study.
Yeah.
Those are opportunities, and um, I can tell you this, Sean. Um, from the moment I have come to this country, I have been given nothing but opportunities, and I'm grateful for that. I cannot say enough good things about the
Hmm.
opportunities
Sure.
I have been given, and the way I have been welcomed
Yeah.
to this country.
Yeah. No, and I listen, I mean, I think Canada's a fantastic country
It
with
is.
lots of
Yeah.
people that want to come here. And I love the fact that you say, you've been given the opportunity.
Yes.
Because I think even it doesn't have to be, people coming here expecting something. It can be people who are born here and raised here that
Yes.
expect something to just be given to them, right? And opportunities are everywhere. If you're
Yes.
going to look for them, they
Yes.
are everywhere.
Yes. Correct.
You don't have to be
So
given something
no.
because
No.
hard work, you'll find an opportunity if you're willing to work
Yes.
hard,
Yes.
right?
There's many people that are out there that are, seeking to do the right thing. They are appreciative of the opportunities, but you're right. There is a lot of them that do feel very entitled,
Hmm.
and choose not to take up the opportunities that are being
Yeah.
presented to them.
Yeah, I get that too.
So
So, okay, so you go back to school. Obviously your hard work and, honesty, integrity,
yeah.
reliability pay off. You get a job at Caesars.
Yes.
And what do you I really liked the fact that you told me the story about the people who you were working with
Yes.
were actually pushing you to do the policing job up in
Yes.
Toronto.
Yes.
And so
Yes.
I didn't ask you this the other day, but what do you think, and maybe they told you, what do you think those people saw in you that made them want to push you to do something such as policing? I mean, policing can be a dangerous thing. You never know what's going to happen. Lots of hard work has to go into it,
Yes.
obviously. But what do you think it was that those people saw that were like, man, Harb would be really good for that?
I would. It's hard for me to put an exact word to it, but I think I'm easy to get along with, first of all, and I enjoy a good laugh. But at the same time, I think what they noticed was a degree of decency and humanity that I demonstrate with everybody I come across,
Hmm.
and that's who we should be to begin with.
Yeah.
And in policing, especially, you have to have a degree of empathy, but at the same time, you have to have a degree of understanding to say, is this person telling us the truth, or is this person just giving us a line?
Hmm.
And so when you deal with each other, and people come into the casino, they would look and say, this is how this guy conducts himself. And we had actually retired police officers, some of the as high as inspectors from Windsor Police and OPP and what have you, that also were working there. And they would also encourage. We had the former chief of LaSalle, Larry Riem, that used to work there, and he was also very encouraging. But these friends of mine, they were really
Yeah.
hardcore, and then they two of them are actually police officers, and one guy works still works with the casino industry.
Mhm.
And
2 of those friends
yes,
are also
yes,
police officers
yes,
as well. Wow.
yes. One became a police officer about 3 or 4 years after I became one. The other one became a police officer, I think, about a year after I became one. And the third guy never actually. He could have. He was in the
Mhm.
auxiliaries actually at one time.
Oh, okay.
So, but he never tried to get into policing. He was just happy with doing it with the surveillance business.
Mhm.
So he enjoyed that. But I think that's what they saw, that I had certain qualities that would make um, me a better police officer. And yes, we normally are reactive in policing as such,
Mhm.
but I would take my time to understand what is it that I'm being presented with.
Right.
And then based on that, I would then devise a plan to say, this is how we need to tackle this issue or this
Yeah.
problem. And those sort of things make a difference.
Yeah, and so if you had to pull, and I didn't ask you this the other day, but if you had to pull, let's say, 3 lessons that you learned in 29 years of policing, what do you think those 3 lessons would be?
Um, Listen actively. That's the main
It's
lesson,
a good one.
right? And be open minded. Don't go in with a closed mind, because we often have, sometimes we believe that we know the answers already. And we're just going to, be sort of performative. So, okay, I'm going to listen, and then I'm still going to tell you what's what. No,
Mhm.
that's not the way things should work. And show your humanity.
Mm,
Don't be a robot. Don't
yeah.
Everybody goes through life with different struggles that they're facing. Some are facing harder struggles than others. So be open to that. Be open minded in terms of your own assumptions. Challenge your own assumptions, because sometimes you're wrong. But admitting to it sometimes is very difficult.
Yeah.
And I encourage people to do that.
Yeah, and it's interesting you say that. I love all 3 of those because I think even in business, whether it's new relationships, networking, whatever it is, being open-minded,
Yeah.
huge. You're not going to see the opportunities
No.
if you're not open-minded.
No.
Listening attentively. I
Yeah.
mean, the old saying of, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth. We should listen twice as much as we talk.
Absolutely.
That's why I love
Yeah.
doing things like this
Yeah.
podcast. I love learning from other people. You can
Yeah.
always take something away from someone else, right?
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, I love those because they are just, I think they're pillars of that people can take with them anywhere they go.
True, true. And the pillars that I follow, and I'm sure you do as well, is there's as you go through life, you realize what is it that makes us different, or what is it that makes certain people more successful. And when you get down to the foundation, it's a few things. It's faith, faith in all its ways, whether
Mhm.
it's faith in God, faith in religion, faith in yourselves, or faith in your family. That matters. Love, because love for your fellow human beings, love for your family, love for what you do for a living, right? And hope. We
Mhm.
have to have hope for a better tomorrow. We always, hope springs eternal, as they say. And but none of those three things are possible unless you have courage.
Yeah.
Courage to have faith, courage to have hope, and courage to love.
Yeah.
So those are the things that bring everything together. And then when you pair those four things with hard work,
Yeah.
it's in my opinion, it's a recipe for success.
Yeah. I would
So
100% agree with you. I mean,
yeah,
even just looking back at my career, whether it's my athletic career,
yeah,
my business career, whatever it is, I mean, you never know. You never know who you're going to run into,
yes,
right? So I love the, being in touch with, your humanity side. You never know who you're going to run in with. You definitely need to have faith in yourself.
yes,
You're going to go over the mountain, and
yeah,
sometimes it might take you longer to get up the mountain than other
that's right.
people, but your journey is your journey and mine is mine. And we're going to face things that we have to overcome,
Yes.
right? So we do have to have that faith, and I mean, hope that we are doing the right thing. And
Yes.
um, yeah, and I love all of those
Yeah.
principles because it's been like my entire life has
Yeah.
been that,
Yeah.
whether it's trying to make the Olympics or trying to get the business going or
Yeah.
moving from Alberta to Windsor,
Yeah.
having to restart my business, all of those things. You just never knew if they were going to actually pan out or not, but you still got to get up in the morning. You still got to do some hard work because and I always say, the time is going to pass anyways.
Yes.
So if the time's going to pass anyways, you might as well do something you love,
Make it
regardless of whether it's hard or not.
make it productive. Absolutely. I chatted with a friend of mine. I've known her since kindergarten, and she lives in England. And I think about a year ago or 2 years ago, I was talking to her, and she says, "Herb, you always march to your own drumbeat, didn't you?" And I've known this. I haven't seen her in like almost 20 years, but we still communicate, talk on the phone and stuff. Brother lives in Toronto, and she was the one who says, and then I reflected on it. I says, "You're right. I'm not a huge follower as such."
Hmm.
And when you're marching to your own drumbeat, you oftentimes are uncomfortable because you're looking around to say, "Why is not
Yeah.
everybody with me, or why am I not
Yeah.
following other people?"
How come I feel alone? Yeah.
Exactly. But you have to do what feels right to you and go from there
Yeah.
because there's safety in numbers, obviously. But when you are by
Yeah.
yourself, and in policing, this is one of the things that you learn, that you get out there, whatever decision you make, you have to own it
Hmm.
personally.
Yeah.
The chief is not going to be there to hold your hand. The sergeant's not going to be there.
Yeah.
So, and oftentimes the information you get is not complete. It's a half a picture, and you have to assess things quickly and
Hmm.
then make a decision because people are relying on you
Yeah.
to act quickly. And so it's also, it helps you build your qualities as a leader uh, under pressure.
Hmm. Yeah.
So those kinds of things make a huge impact on you,
Yeah.
and this is where you have to double down on your abilities to say, I have to have the right judgment. Can I get things wrong? Yes, I have in the past.
Hmm.
But those mistakes, don't look at them as failures. Don't define yourselves or identify yourself as a failure. Look at it as an opportunity. And I would tell these to people that I would run into this is, you made a mistake. Use this as a learning
Correct.
opportunity, right? And then move from there.
Yeah. I love the fact that you say that and bring that up because I was actually just I was just reading something the other day, and there was like a study about like kids that are either high performing athletes or that like video game a lot.
Right.
Right? Like video games nowadays are not what they were back when we were
No,
kids,
no.
right? Nowadays they're like lots of things going
Yeah.
on, it's endless things. Back when we were growing up, whether it was Mario Kart or Mario Party or Super Mario, whatever
Yeah.
it was, you learned by getting down the level and dying and being
Yeah.
like, okay, next time I don't do that thing, I'm going to change it, right? And you learn to make decisions
Yes.
because of the failure,
Yes.
not expecting that everything's just going to go the way it's going to go,
Exactly.
right? And
Exactly.
you're going to fail in life.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
a natural thing that's going to happen. We have to make a decision based on the information that we have at our disposal,
True.
and we don't always have all the information.
No, we don't.
But that doesn't mean that we have to not make a decision. You
No.
still have to make a decision,
Yes.
and then you hope that it's the right one.
Yes.
And if you fail at something, you learn, you go back, you do it again, you make a different decision. The problem is going to be people that make the same decision over and over and over and never learn from it. That becomes
Expect
a
a different
problem.
result
Yeah.
every time. No. The definition of insanity, right?
Yeah.
But no, it's and I always you have to be reflective. Even when you are successful, you have to reflect to say, what could I have done better?
Yeah.
Where can I go from here? What's the next step for me to bring about a greater level of success? And success for me is at the end of the day can be defined by just one word: trust.
Mm.
Right? If you're successful and you deliver consistently, the people that you're working for or serving or providing a product, they will begin to trust you. And then without that trust, you cannot really measure any
Yeah.
success. So that is the most important part for me, and that's what I try to um, you know do every day, even with whether it was policing as a public servant
Hmm.
or now as a member of parliament.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
my
I mean,
objective.
let's talk a little bit about that. So what made you want to spend 29 years doing policing? You're quote unquote retired,
Yes.
got a good pension, got all these things that most people would say, I'm just going to take these things and I'm going to go live my life and I'm done. What made you want to say, you know what, let's get back into the fire and go do something like Parliament?
So there's a certain joy in public service that you can't get anywhere else, and I have
Mhm.
done it for 29 years. Even my dad was in the reserves in the Indian Army. As I mentioned, my uncle was in the Navy. So we have a family tradition of public
Of
service,
serving, yeah.
obviously, right? And when you get a chance to serve, one of the first things when I got hired by Toronto Police Service, and my mom, I was talking to my mom, she said, "Son, you have an incredible opportunity to be able to help people. Don't you ever lose that mindset.
Mm.
And every day you get an opportunity, you go help people." And over the last 10 or 11 years, what I was seeing unfold on the roads, whether it was the opioid epidemic that we dealt with kids across our region and across the country, North America actually, or the lax criminal investigation, criminal code rules that were changing, whether the bail reform or things of that nature. um, we were heading down the wrong path.
Mhm.
And I would talk to people, deal with people, and they would question me, the officer, what's going on? Like, we thought this guy or gal would be in the jail for a few more weeks until their trial or whatever. And I didn't have an answer because we would do all our work, present to the crown attorney, and the crown attorney would bring it to the judge or justice of the peace. And they had new rules and regulations that they had to follow, and the person would be out. So it created an erosion of trust in the people's
Mhm.
perceptions and minds, which is actually true.
Right.
And that was not what I would deem as a success for myself as a police officer. So when you start looking at, going to calls and solving one call at a time, one problem at a time, and the same problems keep arising again and again, you say there's something wrong with this picture.
Mhm.
Why am I doing this?
Yeah.
Why is every police officer in Canada doing this? So then you look back and say that this is not working. So the only way I could, you know, bring about change or find a solution was head to Ottawa and help uh, bring light to these issues
Right.
and say this is not working, guys. This is not what you might think this is going to help is not helping.
Yeah.
It's actually being very contrary to what you had in mind.
Mhm.
And so that's where that impetus came. And I got tired of yelling at the TV, honestly.
Yeah.
So,
I think we're all tired of
so
yelling at the TV, to
yeah.
be honest.
So
Um, yeah, I mean, listen, I love the fact that you say that because I think, uh, even as an entrepreneur person like myself or the other business owners that I know, there's so many people that sell their business,
yes,
retire, stop doing something, and they either go stir crazy and they
yes,
can't do something anymore, or they just have this absolute itch to just go help again because they
yes,
know that in order to feel, especially I think as men, and I'm not just saying
yeah,
just men, but
right, yeah,
women have
yeah,
things as
yeah,
well. But
yeah,
as
yeah.
men, we love providing.
Yes,
And when we're no longer providing, whether it's work,
yeah,
whether it's helping people, whether it's being of service to others, we just don't know what to do with ourselves,
true.
right? Because we are kind of built that way.
Yes,
And we always get back into it. I mean, I don't think I could ever sell my business or I love what I do. It's fun. I get to help people. I see their face, smile, knowing that maybe they actually are going to retire when they didn't think they were. All those kinds of things. And I think about, well, what am I going to do when I'm 70 years old? I'm like, I'll still be doing this. Like, I still love it. It's just a lot
you're
of fun.
absolutely right. And it's all about adding value. I know a lot of police officers, high ranking officers as well, that are still continuing to work,
Mhm.
and um, they're the Rotary, for example, or the
Yeah.
Lions Club, or other organizations that they go to and contribute in a meaningful way.
Yeah.
And I felt that this is what I needed to do to bring about. And people often say, it's you guys all keep talking about common sense, but it truly is about common sense. Do these rules and regulations and legislation, do they make sense? If they're not common sense oriented, we are not going to have the buy-in from the general public.
Mm.
And right now, we know the general public is not happy with
Right.
the way things are going.
Right.
Whether it's public safety, whether it's affordability, people have a lot of questions.
Mhm.
And they are right to have those questions, because I have those questions as
Right,
well.
yeah.
And I had those questions on the road when I was, driving around and
Yeah.
talking to people and dealing with issues.
Yeah.
So those are the kinds of things that you're right. You were there adding value and solving problems. And the same applies to the current role. I'm here to add value.
Mhm.
And the moment I realize that I'm not adding value to anything, then I'm going to say, okay, this is
Mm.
it. I'm going to go find something else to do.
Right.
But again, you're right. We always are looking for that ability to say, how can I add and contribute in a meaningful way?
Yeah.
It has to be purpose driven also, right?
Yeah.
And that's the kind of purpose that we need to share with everybody
Mhm.
in our own little way. And it's easy to do for a country like Canada,
Yeah.
because it has given me so much
Yeah.
beyond my wildest imaginations.
Sure.
So for me, it was a natural. I didn't even think twice about it to
Yeah.
say, should I do this or not?
So I got started in financial services because I saw that the industry wasn't helping my own family.
Right,
And, I was an 18, 19-year-old kid traveling the world, competing, got my first credit card, never
right,
really understood what was going
right,
on, got into trouble, had to get it paid off, all that jazz. But I wanted to learn about money for myself too.
right.
And that's kind of why I got into it. My purpose was I didn't know about it, money. My parents didn't know as much about money as they thought, and I wanted to share it to everybody else. When you say it's about purpose, I mean, you want to help people and you want to provide. There's so many avenues to help people and provide. Is there a reason why policing and now government has been the things that you've chosen?
So this is where, and I still consider myself a public servant, because public service, you actually have direct impact on the people you're helping. To your
Mhm.
point about financial literacy, that's something that we don't do enough of in high schools or grade schools.
Mhm.
And when I was the school resource officer for 4 years in LaSalle, that's something that I would ask the teachers to say, you need to do this as well. You need to educate your high school kids and your grade school kids to say the value of money and how that, you know, um, affects you.
Mhm.
And because a lot of these kids, and including seniors, would get scammed.
Mhm.
Fraud is a huge issue. And if you don't
Yeah.
understand how, the instruments of money work, and, what the opportunities are and what the pitfalls are, you're going to make mistakes. But if you're prepared, then you're better off. And policing, it was always about preparing. Even if you went to a call, or a hot call, you were running scenarios through your mind to
Mhm.
say, what am I going to encounter and how am I going to
Yeah.
deal with it? So you're
If
training.
if this happens,
If
then
this
that,
exactly.
right?
So you're prepared beforehand, and it's all about preparation. And for me, I feel like the last 29 years sort of almost prepared me to do this as well, to say,
Mhm.
I'm going to do everything possible to help not only my people in Windsor West, but others across this country. For instance, the extortion issue. I know what's going on, and there's a lot of issues that need to be dealt with,
Mhm.
but it is not being dealt with properly. There have to be measures that the federal government, the other agencies, whether it's CSIS or RCMP, and provincial agencies, that need to take and influence the outcomes that are results oriented
Mhm.
to get better results, not just talk about it, give speeches
Yeah.
and do ribbon cuttings, and then we walk away. No, it doesn't work that way.
Mhm.
So you have to have a better understanding of what's actually happening on the road, and that is where I felt that I could bring that um, knowledge, say,
Yeah. Yeah,
to say this is
29
yeah,
years on the
exactly,
road, so you've
exactly,
encountered a lot of different things.
exactly.
Interesting.
Somebody was telling me that we don't think that there is a single other parliamentarian in the current parliament right now that is a road cop.
Really?
So I haven't tested that. I haven't gone through everybody's background.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, but and I do say that I when I stand up and if it's an intervention or if it's a speech, I often reflect on that. Just 2 weeks ago, I was talking about the affordability crisis that we're having, and the fact that I had to arrest senior citizens at the local grocery store
Mhm.
because they were not able to afford to
Yeah.
buy. They have a fixed income. Their money is not stretching as
Yeah.
far as it used to, and so they're deciding between rent or heating their home or medicine or food.
Mhm.
And these are not. This is not what I had in mind about Canada.
Yeah.
We can do better than what we are doing right now.
Yeah, and I mean, Canada's a fantastic country, and I
Yeah.
agree with what you said earlier about we do have a very good reputation
Yes.
in the world community. I mean,
Yeah.
I've gone to
Yeah.
I don't even know 25 countries now, and when
Yes.
they find out we're from Canada,
Yeah.
they love
Yes.
it,
Yeah.
right?
They do.
But what's going on in our country right now is just not okay for a country
No.
of what we are and our size and
Of
who
our
we are,
means, yes,
right?
exactly.
Um, and I have a lot of opinions on that. I mean, I'm from Alberta, so I'm a big oil and gas guy, so I know what's going on in the news and stuff like that. But
Right.
we are one of the richest countries in the world, and there is no reason why our senior citizens and our
No.
our population should be struggling. There is no
Absolutely.
reason,
No reason
right?
whatsoever.
And financial
Yeah.
literacy, I agree with you
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
It's just not taught in this country.
Yeah.
And just simple things like just, if you started at 18 years old and you just saved a couple bucks every month and didn't touch it, by the time you retire, you'll have more than enough money to do with what you need to do.
Exactly.
But we're not taught that,
No.
right? We're
No.
taught that
No.
our society is I want it now. It needs to be now. And everybody's trying to get rich quick. And it doesn't happen. That's not how the world works.
Or if something happened, it wasn't my fault, it was somebody else's fault,
Yeah.
right? And this is where I encourage everybody. I was speaking to Andrew Shear, our house leader, he and I both share this idea that every person out there should at least read Dale Carnegie's
Mhm.
book once, because it does teach you a lot of things about yourself and
Yeah.
about the world around you. And again, taking accountability, because that's one of the most important aspects of life,
Yeah.
and being able to see things from the other person's perspective as
Yeah.
well. So
Yeah. Well, we're getting low on time. Is there anything specific that you would like to sort of add to the conversation about what's next for you, what you're trying to achieve while you're in your position you're currently in, or where people can get a hold of you if they have questions? I
oh,
have no idea.
absolutely. So we have our offices at 3950 Malden Road, in Windsor, just around the corner from here in church on
Okay.
Malden. And our phone number is 519 I believe. Um, People can Google that and quickly
Hmm.
find us. If you ever make your way up to Ottawa, please let me know. I'll be happy to give you a tour of the Parliament building. And
Yeah, that would be
uh,
cool. I'm such a curious person.
yeah,
Having a tour of
so
Parliament would be awesome.
it is a fantastic place. And I'm here to represent everybody, not just the folks that voted for me. I do firmly believe in that, and I'll do
Hmm.
everything in my power to represent them effectively and efficiently,
Hmm.
because that's what I owe it to them.
Right.
Back when I was in policing, my chief should say, "Harb, I'm not your boss. People out there are our bosses,
Hmm.
and we in policing, you serve based on the consent the public gives you."
Right.
And it's the exact same thing now in this position.
Hmm.
It's the consent of the people that voted for me and I serve at their pleasure,
Right.
not at somebody else's pleasure.
Hmm.
And I happen to belong to a party that I believe is the right party that will lead Canada to prosperity and heights that we have never seen before.
Right.
But we need to get there and be elected. And that comes with that age of, show responsibility, show accountability, show transparency,
Hmm.
and lead with ferocity because our future depends on it. Our
Absolutely.
children's future depends on it.
Yeah.
We don't want to be living in debt forever. I'm not even sure when our budget is going to get balanced next time
Yeah,
around.
God, no, don't get me started on that. So I always end the
So,
podcast asking people one question, which is, what does success mean to you? You mentioned it earlier, which was trust
yes.
was your number one thing.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to add to that as to what success means to you besides just being trustworthy?
Well, it does mean that you have to work hard. You have to abide by your values. You have to show integrity. And when you follow all those rules, regardless of what others might be doing or not doing, you follow your heart. Passion is one thing, but clarity is another.
Mm,
And when you do things, don't react, think about it, and then take action. Those are important aspects that build your judgment. And through judgment, you continue to build on your successes, and that success will then eventually build up the trust in you for yourself and for others in you.
right. No, I
So,
like that.
yeah,
That's fantastic. Well, thank you very
yeah.
much, Harb.
Thank you,
I
sir.
appreciate the conversation.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to having more conversations now that we know each other.
we'll be happy to.
Um, I'm excited for what's next to come.
So am I. I'm very optimistic about our future. We just have to buckle down now, as you heard today. The Supreme Court in the U.S. has determined that the tariffs were illegal, but they still are on right now. They
Mm-hmm.
haven't gone away. We have to be more resilient and more self-reliant in house
Right.
before we go, talk to the world.
Yeah.
And the world will continue, and so shall we. We
Absolutely.
shall endure.
100%. Absolutely. Well, everybody, thank
So,
you guys for tuning in to another episode of Cracking the Success Vault here with Spectre Group. Harb, thank you very much for taking the time to chat with us today. I loved all of the message that you had today.
thank you for the opportunity, Sean. Fully appreciate it.
Thanks.
Yeah.